Oh my God. The only small little. Hey, welcome back to Word of Mouth Podcast with Nate and Shelby, man. We
Hello.
are in it.
To win
This
it.
is part 3 of Is Love a Choice or Does It Just Happen? If you haven't listened to part 1 or part 2 yet, you might want to go back and listen to them as we wrap this thing up in part 3. Because we talked about quite a few things. We dug into some things, we shared some things, even personally. And so before you listen to this one, please go back and listen to part 1 and part 2. But I want to dive into this one, Shel, with something that we brought up in 2 was intimacy and covenant.
Mhm.
Now, intimacy, again, we established that it's beyond just the physical, sexual nature of it. Intimacy is when you do reveal everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Yeah. So when you reveal all of that, you're exposing yourself and you are uncovering yourself to a place where you're trusting that that other person is going to,
That they got your back.
and that they won't betray you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, wow, I just heard in the spirit. I want to say, even though Jesus knew why he was here and what was going to take place, but the example that was given about Judas compared to Peter, because both was a betrayal, but he told Peter, "You're going to deny me."
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be if I'm in a relationship with somebody or in covenant with somebody, I don't want them to deny me. I'm not saying that on one perspective. I'm talking about in every aspect. I don't want to be denied by them because when you deny me, that considerably to me is betrayal.
Okay, so explain what you mean by deny.
All right. So the difference that I see in the spirit realm when Jesus had the conversation with Peter, he said, "Hey, you're going to deny me 3 times before the
The rooster crows.
yeah." He wanted him to understand that even though you're going to not be a part of me in front of people, you're not going to represent who I am to you in front of
You're not
people.
going to own me.
Yes. Woo, Jesus. That hurts
Yeah.
to know that I'm okay with you behind. Oh, this is getting deep. I'm okay with you behind closed doors. Women, I'm talking to
Yeah.
you. I'm okay with you behind closed doors.
But I ain't okay with you out in the real world.
Woo, my God. I don't want to be denied either. Betrayal is it. That's we know what that is.
Right.
But I don't want to be denied either.
No, who would want to?
You only treat me like the queen of the earth or the king of the world in the house.
Yeah.
You can't. I'm not worth me.
Not good enough outside.
We can't go out to
Can't
eat.
catch me outside.
Catch me outside. I'm not worth a date. I'm not worth holding hands with me in a park. I'm not like all this stuff is real.
Yeah.
And not only women, because women do want that affirmation, but men want it too.
But men don't express that.
No, we don't.
Mm-mm.
No, we don't. But I promise you 100%, we want affirmation as well.
Yeah.
We want to be noticed in a way where you're proud of us.
Yeah, exactly. Doesn't everybody want? I mean, like, yeah, I can't imagine being in a relationship where you wouldn't want that.
Men don't say it, but we want it. We don't say that we want you to tell us, "Hey man, ooh, boy, you look good bringing them groceries in. Ooh, the sweat just dripping off your brows when you mow the lawn, and that shirt it just fits and hugs you."
Oh, stop it. You're just going for the lust part of it. You need to stop.
No, but that's affirmation for us because we're like, man, I'm turning you on, out here mowing the lawn or picking up poop or whatever it is. That feels good to us because that's attention.
But it's appreciation, though.
Yes, it is.
Yes. It doesn't have to be like you look so good or whatever, but just I appreciate that you're doing this for us.
That's how we take it.
Right.
Not
Yeah.
in a lustful way, but that's how we
No,
take it.
but I mean, yeah, I think definitely that I think both sides want to be appreciated
Yes.
and they want it acknowledged, but I think probably men more so
Mm-hmm. The appreciation
because
part.
the nurture part of women will take over that appreciation.
Yes.
And So women don't need it as much because that's kind of how we're made.
Y'all made up like that. That's why affirmation is so very important, I believe, for women,
Yes.
because to be affirmed is to say that she knows that she's protected.
Yes, I got you.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
There's a security. All women want, can I be honest?
Is to be secure.
Period.
That's as a woman. Yeah, I would agree with that.
That's it, fellas.
Yeah.
That's it. We out trying to, man, we at the gym pumping 650. She can care less. Bro, just
Well,
secure,
there's some
man.
that like that, but
Just secure, though. Let her know that she can trust in you.
and
not
that's
just
the
trust
thing.
you.
Like secure doesn't mean like, yeah, you're the big man and you're gonna protect her, which yes, that's part of it.
Mhm.
But it's that you're gonna protect all of her soft underbelly and everything about her that she is not gonna show to other people.
And not kill her with the
The
pieces of
stuff.
glass that you tore.
Exactly.
Oh, my
Yeah.
God.
And in the bedroom too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like she can trust you with her body
Yes.
in every way.
That's why that emotion that comes from women in from a sexual aspect, like that's a lot coming from you all.
Yes. That's our most vulnerable place. I mean, y'all men can do whatever to
Yeah.
us in that place. And, you know, if if we don't have to worry about curling up in a ball in the corner
Right.
afterwards, it's very helpful.
Yes, I agree. I agree. And that's why we have to, fellas, we have to, before you make that initial step, if you're not sure,
Don't do it.
don't do it. Don't do it. If you feel like, man, nah, I just want to commit for a little bit, I want to be a part time lover.
Mm-hmm.
I want to love you just Saturday nights, right? Love you some Wednesdays, some Thursdays, then be honest enough to say that.
I think she'd appreciate that a lot more than
Yes.
getting the boot afterwards.
But I also say that to women. Like, say that to men too, because once we all in too. We might not express the emotional aspect of it, but we have some he emotions that can get intense. So if you just want that part-time guy, then say that to him.
Right.
Because this is where the love is a choice.
Yeah.
It's very, very important. You making a choice. There are some consequences that come with you not being honest.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So that now to me, that takes off into that last realm, and that's covenant. Covenant says, no matter what,
We in this.
that's it. It's a done deal.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no turning around now.
Right.
I had an opportunity to go on a cruise a couple of weeks ago, and I woke up around about 4:30 in the morning, and I wanted to see the sun rise over the water. What got me the most before the sun came out was all this water and no land.
I know, in that trip.
Man, it blew my mind. And then I was reminded, if I'm ever at this place with a person, like we're just out here, I don't even have a place to swim back. Can't even swim back. So if I commit, if I say I love you, like this the water
all we
in.
got.
This is it. I'm
That's
gonna
all we
die
got.
trying to go backwards, or I'm gonna die when I jump in because I'm trying to get away from you. However it is, we in this. Once we covenant, it's just water. Ain't no land. When we walk on land, we walking together. But there's no turning back. There's no turning back. And I'm gonna be honest with you, Shelby. I desire that.
Good.
I think that's why
About
I'm
damn
careful.
time.
I think that's why I'm very, very, very careful because I desire that. I don't. I'm tired of the playing around.
I think most people do desire that if they're truly honest with themselves, but a lot of people like to put on the facade of I'm just carefree and I can do whatever and blah blah blah.
Carefree.
They don't want people to see them crying in their rooms when the door's shut.
Carefree. Just do what I want to
Eating
do.
themselves alive with all the feelings of loneliness.
Yep. And that loneliness will eat you up. I was at the gym this morning and I played a song. There was a song that was playing in my headphones, and the lyrics to the song, it says, the name of the song is "I Need You Now," and the lyrics in the song said, "The agony of being alone, fear of doing things on my own." I threw my headphones off. Oh, Jesus Christ. I can relate. I can relate. Because it's agony.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Ooh.
And we can all do it on our own. Nowadays, whether you're a man or a woman, you can all do it on your own.
Can.
But it ain't fun.
No. 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 There are days where it's like cramps. Ladies, I ain't talking about y'all cramps. I'm talking about just regular eating cramps or whatever, but it bothers you.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very irritating.
Yeah.
So I'm very careful, Shelby, when I walk into that realm of covenant. And I do desire that.
Well, you should be. Everyone should be. That's not something to take lightly. You're bringing God into the situation.
Yes.
Anytime you do that, it's not treading lightly. It's a big deal.
Do you desire covenant?
Absolutely.
For women, though, is that a desire up front, or is that something that you work at?
Well, I can't answer for everybody, but I think women tend to lean that direction.
Up front?
Up front.
Okay. It's not something that you kind of gradually work your way up to.
I
It's
think
just,
men more gradually work into it.
I ain't talking about men right now.
I know. Give me that look, but I'm just going to say.
But yes. So, okay. So for women, y'all just up front with it. Like, hey,
I think we all go into it for the most part. And most of us go into it with that mindset of this is going to be a permanent situation.
Permanent. I like that.
It's a Sharpie situation.
Yes.
Permanent ink.
A permanent ink.
And can I just say, don't ever tattoo someone's name on your body.
Oh my God. She went out there with
That's
it,
like
y'all.
the kiss of death, in my opinion.
She went out there.
If you're ever in a relationship with me, don't ever tattoo my name on your body. How about that? That's the kiss of death.
I quit. Oh my God. She said, do not tattoo her name on your
That's
body.
the kiss of
fellas.
death.
Oh my God. I think men do it to give a level of security. They think that that's saying, hey, now you got to know that I love you.
Yeah.
Even though they out doing whatever.
Oh, well.
But they're saying, now you got to know that I love you because I got your name on my body. Look, that don't mean nothing.
No, you tattoo right over that.
I promise you can. That don't mean nothing. It's just some ink.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, I don't know why we went off on that little tangent.
You mentioned the tattoo. So love is a choice. Also, feelings that begin to happen from the beginning, I would say, listening to you today, I would say that the most important thing that I can take from this is to be honest.
Always. And respect that person.
Gotcha.
If nothing more than just as another human being who has emotions and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, respect is a big deal.
Respect.
And honesty. And with honesty comes trust.
And then that kind of leads into everything else. Gotcha. All right.
And I want to kind of step back a minute because I'm just the kind of person where I'm built to be in a relationship. I'm not a dater. I'm not a serial dater. I just can't do it. That's just not me. I know there are some people, some women that's their thing. And that if that's what works for you, great. I just can't speak to that because I'm not that.
I got a question. I don't know if I've ever been on a date, but I got a question.
How have you never been on a date? That's my question.
I don't think
You've never asked anyone on a date?
No.
What the hell?
I'm serious.
How did you do that?
My ex wife, I remember saying, hey, can I meet you over at this McDonald's and we just sit and talk? And then when we got there, I was like, hey, you want something?
So because you didn't say it was an official date, it didn't count as a date?
Yeah, because in my mind, I thought dates was, you have to.
Hey, you want to go on a date?
Yeah, and then you pick them up, and then y'all sit at this fancy restaurant, and y'all have this
Probably if you
great
asked
meal.
her, she would consider that a date after the fact. Now, maybe not going into it, but after the fact, she probably would.
Oh, so everybody that I've met at a restaurant, I just be
No,
like,
not
"Hey, meet
me.
me here."
You and me met at a restaurant, not me.
Right.
Well, that was not a date, but yes, I think if you're romantically going in that
So
direction,
romantically,
yes.
all right. So, but don't you have to ask a person,
But
right?
the women's empowerment type thing nowadays is gonna be like, no, you're gonna ask me on a date, you're gonna pay for that date too. Like they're
Well,
gonna demand that of you.
I mean, I feel like men should.
Well, yeah,
However,
but I'm just saying, it's a little different.
the asking part, like, does that establish a date? Because I feel like, man, we can do that all day long. Why do we have to call it a date? Let's just call it, hey, we just going out to get something to eat.
Okay, run that back. The asking part, is that required?
Is that required? Because can I just say, hey,
Because you're
let's go
trying to
run and get?
differentiate
Yeah, when I
it
hear
from
the
just
word
being
date, I think you the way you were putting it is, I'm not a serial
serial
dater.
dater, right?
So does that say you just can't go out to eat with anybody? And is a date just going out to eat?
Well, okay, so I've been divorced 3 years, and I did go out on several dates, and some were, like twice or three times with the same person.
Mm-hmm.
That's dating. That's getting to know if you want to go further with that person.
Can't that be a phone call?
It can be, but I think that if they're putting the foot forward that they're honestly pursuing you, that's kind of a sign. Like you were saying, the actual date is a sign that that's their intention.
Can that still be a phone call? Because I'm putting
But
forth the.
you have to be able to interact with that person in the flesh, in the outside world, because you can glean a lot of information being out with a person in public to see how they treat other people, how they react to situations, how their manners, all that stuff. So I think you need to go out with that person.
So what if you work with them? Like you see them all the time.
You're still going to see a different side of them when you go out in public, away from work.
Really?
Absolutely. People put on masks at work. You kidding me?
So what about a neighbor? Like you see them all the time.
You're still going to see different aspects of them that you never would see if you don't experience them in a public situation.
And I guess my next question would be, what if I go to church with them? Like
It's the same thing.
it's the same thing. Okay.
And people in church tend to be churchy when they're in church. They
Air
go be
quotes.
churchy.
Got it.
They're on
Okay.
the best behavior,
Okay. Okay.
even though there might be demons sitting next to them.
My God.
You.
Okay. Okay. So that's what a date is.
Yeah, I think it's a kind of like social experiment to see how they act in
Experiment.
public.
Ah.
You know,
Okay. Okay. Thank you for establishing that. Because again, I don't think I've ever been on one now that, and even when I looked at the word date, I felt like that was,
okay, but you married the woman that you just talked about, but you said you never had a date, but now you're trying to corroborate dates with relations.
yeah, because I don't even know if I
I'm confused.
said it was a date to her. Like, I don't even know if I remember saying, hey, let's go on a date. I'm going to pick you up at 7 and you wear something sexy and we just go out
Well,
on the town.
you wouldn't say wear something sexy if
Oh.
you ain't put together.
Oh, sorry.
That's
But
a little out there.
But like that,
Men, don't say that. Don't say if you're
please don't
trying to
say
go
that.
on a date with someone in the beginning.
don't listen to me.
say
I ain't never been on one. But yeah, I've never did that.
But I will say, women like someone who is decisive. That's what we want in our men. We want a man who knows who he is, who knows he's a man, who's secure in who he is, who will make decisions,
Yes.
who won't leave everything up to us, who will take initiative and who will take charge of situations.
Period.
Don't be forceful because you'll get your teeth kicked in. But yeah, be in charge. There's a difference. Don't step over the line.
Your teeth kicked in. Y'all heard that, right? Okay, I'm sorry. I got lost on that one. Oh, your whole grill just gone.
You gotta go get a new one.
Right. Your teeth kicked in. All right. So
And women want to be pursued. And I don't know, do men want to be pursued? Because sometimes I think they do. Or do they want to be the pursuer?
Both.
Okay.
I say both, not pursuing from, in your words, and I use air quotes, dating.
But after the fact, when the
Yes.
relationship's established.
Yes. Pursuit has to be, the hunt have to continue.
Yeah, the hunt's the fun part.
Yeah. That has to continue. Because if that don't continue, then there's no,
It's just blah.
yeah. And it becomes
Status
stale real
quo.
quick.
Yeah.
Real quick. But men do, we require some type of pursuit. Some. Because here's statistics wise. I mean, like real statistic. Um, there's 20 to 1 for a man. A good man, about 25. But there's 20 to 1 women. There's 20 women that want one man. If he's a good man, 25. They want a good man.
Well, I'm just shit out of luck. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I say that from not to that you have to be in a comparison with everybody else.
Competition with them.
Yeah, because comparison does kill.
Yeah.
However, knowing who you are is amazing to a man. You said that for a man, but also we love it too. Knowing your identity is everything.
Yeah.
Because when you start saying, "Oh, I don't look like her," or "I'm this," and "I'm terrible," and that's a turnoff. Because we know we've made the choice.
Yeah,
To
you
say,
know what
hey,
you see in us.
exactly. So
Right.
we like, man, I'm digging this, and you start putting yourself down. We're like, what? Wait, I know what I like. Why you don't like what I like?
It's you.
Right? It's really you. So yeah, we like that too.
But I
we like
think,
the pursuit.
you know, we work with a lot of insecurities in the social
Yes.
aspect of things that men don't necessarily have to deal with.
Yes, and that's true. And that's where the security part have to come in for us, because we have to remind them, man, you got my attention.
Yeah.
Not only
No, I
got my
think that's
eyes,
the affirmation. Yeah. I
you
think
got
that's
my
important.
attention, and it costs to pay attention.
Yes, it do.
That's a big cost. That's a big cost. I talk to Shelby a lot about the gym. That's why I go so early in the morning now, because it's 6 people. But there's a floodgate of people that all have the same exact thing from a woman's standpoint, that's in the gym and they half naked, and everybody got it. So you seen a buffet of
Of the
everything,
same thing.
and everybody's showing it. And if I'm lying, I promise you, y'all can call in. Is there a call in? But it's so broad to where, like, what do we do next? Because it's everywhere. So that
Pervasive.
it probably would make a woman feel insecure if I'm seeing this and this and this and this and this. I need to let her know, you got my attention, honey. You got it, and it means a lot that you are the one that has my attention. She needs to know that.
Yeah. I mean, for me personally, any man who steps up and takes charge of stuff for me, because I've never experienced that, I was like, damn.
Ah, dude, you hear it? Step it up.
I already got that taken care of. But anyways,
But
but
men,
just that I don't have to handle everything, and I don't
Mhm.
have to dive into everything, and someone else is willing to get involved.
yes, men hear that. It's not just Shelby. Like, there's some women, and I've heard a couple of women say that. Like, why are you asking a question when she asks a question? I've never understood why people ask questions with questions anyway. But when she say, "Well, what do you want to do?" and then you say, "Well, what do you want?" Dude, make a decision. Be decisive. Like, she's talking truth, fellas. She's talking truth. Understand who you are. It's not, you don't have to walk around and treat her like, she's the scum of the earth and you dragging her by her hair.
Hell no, don't do that. You're gonna get your teeth kicked in.
Right. But definitely know your identity. Know your identity.
Absolutely. We want a man that's established in himself and is comfortable in himself, and he can make mistakes. That don't matter.
We all do.
We absolutely.
We all do.
So we're not looking for perfection, but just someone who is consistent and knows who he is and steps up to the plate and makes this and is a leader. We've talked about that before. That's
Yes.
what men are supposed to be biblically. They're supposed to be the leader
Yes.
and the protector.
You brought up a word, man. I've heard probably every woman that I've ever talked to have said that one word, consistent. Like, I don't know where y'all get that word from, but y'all mean that. Like, y'all
We
have said
do
that over
because
and over
there's
again.
so many that are inconsistent.
Whoa, like y'all be saying that a lot. Consistency.
Yes, absolutely.
It means, fellas, we fell in somehow, some way in the consistent area.
Yeah, I think that it goes back to the commitment thing. I think that's part of it.
Mm-hmm. I agree. You're right.
If the consistency isn't in the commitment, then don't be committing.
Hey, actually, that's a Facebook post. If consistency is not in the commitment,
I'll let you have that one.
that's good. That's really good. Then stop saying, man, you committed to it if you're not consistent with what you're saying. That's good. That's
That's
good.
facts.
That is facts.
And it goes both directions. It's a universal thing.
It is. I don't know if we really hone in. I've been using that word today. Hone in. I don't know if we hone in on consistency. I think we pay attention to accuracy.
Explain that.
Accuracy, your focus.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we want to see what you're focused on, because some of us as protectors, some of us as the leaders, if we see your focus, then we'll know how to handle you, because we see what you're focused on. If your love, if your compassion is for helping people,
Mm-hmm.
we'll begin to understand how we can help you help people.
Mm-hmm.
That's a real leader. Now, not everybody's that way, but sometimes we want to see how accurate you are in that thing that you have passion for. The Bible says, where your heart is, where your treasure is, your heart will be also. So you want to see where her treasure is. What is her desires? What is her passion? And support that. Give her that
See,
support.
that's a big deal because I missed out on that for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a big deal.
Accuracy. Being
I wouldn't
what's your
describe.
focus?
That's why I wanted explanation because I wouldn't describe it that way, but yes, to be supported in what you are pursuing
Mm-hmm.
is it's a thing. That's a thing.
It's
It's a big
huge.
thing.
That's huge. Why not support? We ready
A
to
lot of it
down
has
it.
to do with jealousy
Oh my God.
because if she's spending more time with that thing than she is with me, I'm jealous of that. Even if it's not a consistent thing that she's spending time on. Like if it's not consistent that she's spending a lot of time, like there's events and
Mm-hmm.
you have to, put time into it. And then there's quiet time where the relationship flourishes and all that stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
that's your focus.
Yeah.
But yes, there's jealousy involved. Men get very jealous about stuff like that.
Absolutely, because we want that time. However, if you begin to understand her passion about it,
Or participated.
you're still spending that time.
Right.
I mean, it sounds like it's elementary, because some men do fall into the jealousy category, and we're like, well, you must love that more. You love, just participate in it.
But there's some men that get jealous over your relationship with Christ. That's a bad thing.
I don't even understand that. That's hard to grasp. That's so hard to grasp. I don't even have words for that, to be honest. Like, Christ died for all of us.
But you're a believer.
He died for all of us.
I know, but you're a believing man, so I don't know that you would have an issue with your wife or girlfriend pursuing her relationship with Christ. But there are people who are not set in their belief, and therefore they are jealous when
My
they see time
God.
spent with.
Hmm. Do you think there's women like that too?
Oh, sure.
Seriously? And that I've never met.
I think women tend to be leaning more towards a spiritual relationship, so I think it's fewer and far between with women having that issue, but I wouldn't rule it out.
even being a nurturer, like that's your makeup. That's women's makeup. Like you all care for things. So can you see a woman saying, "Hey, I'm jealous of your relationship with
If you're
God"?
an agnostic or you're an atheist, are you going to be happy that someone's spending
Mm,
time with?
good point. Good point. We covered some ground.
Yeah, we did. We kind of did this for a while, and then all of a sudden,
Yeah,
tangent.
man, we covered all kind of stuff, but it's also conversation that I know I wouldn't have heard just in regular normal places.
No,
Nah,
we like talking about that stuff.
we do. We're open, we're
We
honest,
work it all out.
transparent.
And y'all don't have to agree with us, and that's fine. We're
Nope,
good with that.
nope.
But
At least it's talked about. At least it starts a conversation,
yeah,
opens a discussion. So thank you all so much for today for tuning in. Part 1, part 2, and part 3 of Is Love a Choice or is it something that just happens? Thank you, Shell, for bringing that up on TikTok. Like, I saw you driving. Like, did it just hit you? Did the Holy Spirit just kind of drop that in your
yeah,
spirit? Okay.
yeah,
Okay. That was good.
yeah. It's not me.
That was it's a conversation that I'm glad we had. Hopefully people revisit their relationships, commitments, covenants,
Choices,
choices, all of the above.
decisions.
Yes. They revisit it and they say, "Hey, you know what? Let's talk. Let's talk." So, thank you again for tuning in.
Love y'all.
Love y'all so much. We'll see y'all soon.